What's up, y'all? Welcome to Just Geeking Out. I'm Lawrence St. Victor. We are talking geek today. Usually I'm here with my cousin, but he's in Orlando playing with some crocodiles. Literally, he sent me a video of himself throwing raw meat to crocodiles or alligators. So it's just me solo. So it'll be a shorter show today. But pretty much, I go live every Sunday, just about every Sunday, and I talk about the geek news for the week or the geek news that I want to talk about. um, so make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll get right to it, man. So, first up, I want to show you guys some of my pickups before we get into the news. So, I picked up this guy this week. I picked up this bad boy. This Kingdom Come DC Multiverse Page Punchers figure this week. I actually bought two of them. I have one on the way from GameStop, and I don't know what's going on with this tariff situation or what, but this $24 to $27 figure was like $40 after taxes and shipping from GameStop. And I got no problem spending money on a figure. You know, I got this bad boy right here. And those of you who know, this is not a cheap figure, but you know that going in. I also was one of the guys who spent money on this first McFarlane figure that uses Spotty Buck. And that was pretty expensive. But I knew that going in. But when a figure is like $24, $27, and at the end of the day it comes out to like 40, that is bananas. So I knew that I would have buyer's remorse the second it showed up to the house. So while I was in a store minding my business, checking out the toy section, Target, I saw this guy sitting right there. So I bought him and I'm returning the GameStop. This guy came out to he was like $24.99, I think. 24, $25 plus tax, just under 30, maybe $30. A big difference from the GameStop. So I don't know what's going on out there, but I think I'm a really become an in-store buyer because I'm all for spending more money on the hobby, but I can't feel like I got robbed doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or if I do, I rather spend on like at Big Bad Toy Store, right? Or Entertainment Earth. Let those guys, let these online shops get the coin, but not like big conglomerates, right? Anyway, so I got him. He's pretty freaking cool. Um, I love standing him up next to these other figures that use this body style because it's like Superman from different eras, right? I love it. That's pretty dope. So I've already recorded the review of this guy, so he'll drop probably on Tuesday. I think I'll upload his review, um, etc. So on and so forth. What it is, like you got yours already. I should be getting my Kingdom Come Superman tomorrow from the mail. Yo, honestly, I think I'm getting mine from GameStop too. I just was saying that I bought two of these. And when I bought the one at GameStop, it came out to like $40. And I was cool with it, but I was feeling that like, why is it so much? Found this guy in store, literally $10 less. So I'll be returning my GameStop one. And he was the only one there. So it was a fluke, but I'm happy I got him. And I'm still waiting on that digital. I got this guy right from the McFarlane store, I think. And honestly, he's the only Superman figure you'll ever need at like this price point. I'm not saying he's better than the Mafex or what, but I'm saying at this price point. Oh, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. There's something about him. It competes. I think I'll be doing a versus between these two. People tend seem to like those figures. Um, I also have this other figure. I bought two of each as well. My man, my man, you're an inbox collector, but you know some figures need to be displayed outside the box. Um, I did pick up a figure, etc., that you have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. So let's open this bad boy up. Um, this just came in today from GameStop, and I was a little worried because it was one of the ones that said that I got apparently robbed off the truck, the McFarlane truck or something. You guys hear about that story? But I got that Supergirl Page Punchers figure. You just saw. This is my first time seeing it in hand, and I think there's a QC issue right on the yellow of her S. Maybe not. I won't know until I open. I think there is. Oh man, it's scratched. It's scratched. How much is that gonna bother me? It's right on her S. Anyway, I don't have many Supergirls, and I wanted one to really like be with the Superman family, and I thought these two, color wise, will be perfect together. So this unboxing should come out like on Wednesday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. But I'm really happy about it, and oh, I hope. Oh man, we'll see. If it doesn't come out Wednesdays, because I got pissed off about this blemish and I returned it. But maybe it's like dust or something. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's right on the S. Can you guys see it? Mm, we'll see. We'll see. Anywho, that's pretty much been my pickups, and not even pickups for the week. I pre-ordered these a while ago. I did happen to find this Superman, but I did pre-order them a while ago. I pulled the trigger and bought the Superpower Superman figure. Um, which one? Which one? The pre-ordered? Did you pre-order? Did you pre-order the David Corn sweat one? The one that you hate? The costume you hate? Did you pre-order that one? Oh, interesting. I'm saying this to you guys because et cetera, and so on and so forth. It's been friend of the channel for quite some time, and he does not like the costume in that James Gunn Superman movie, and he's not alone. It's an acquired taste, but you bought two of the elite movie figures and the superpowers. Interesting, my friend. Very interesting. I ain't mad at you. I ain't. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad. That's hilarious. I love it. But even if you don't like the costume, it's still a moment in time, right? It's still, if you're a Superman fan, you kind of have to get it. Like I didn't love Superman Returns back in the day when the Ruth figures came out. I had to pick one up just because it's like a part of history. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get on with some news. Let's talk some news. I'm behind on Last of Us, so I can't talk about that. But I can talk about a movie I just saw before we get into the other things. Let me share my screen with you. Dude, real talk, Sinners is the truth. It's the truth. It's amazing. I love the movie. Ryan Coogler does not miss. It really hits everything, man. It has, of course, the history of the time period. It's sexy. It's cool. Of course, it's horror. I'm gonna do a review on this, and it's gonna drop probably on Tuesday. It's gonna drop. So, okay, Kingdom Come Superman will come out tomorrow. Sinners review will come out Tuesday. Supergirl will drop Wednesday. Big week. But the movie was amazing. I can't say enough about it. I actually want to see it again because it's one of those movies like that Jordan Peele where there's so much you miss because it's so subtle. And Michael B. Jordan, I mean, he crafted a performance of a lifetime. You know, you think playing twins, one will talk this way, one will walk this way, but it was so much more cerebral than that. Like you can look in the eyes of the characters and see two different people. I freaking love it. I loved it. To be fair, I would even get it if they made fair. I would even get it if they made Superman figure. Fair, huh? What you saying? I was at Target today and I saw McFarlane. Wow. No, I saw that too. Yo, I was there yesterday and I saw that. Yes. And I was like, oh, it took me everything I had not to pick that up. Cause first, it's a dope figure. It's a cool looking figure. And I love the idea of Wildcat, that he's just this gruff, kind of like like the Disney Netflix Daredevil, just so this kind of like street level, just boxer. I love it. And yeah, I did hide it in the Target I went to, so I might go back and get it. I mean, it's $11. Well, $15 plus tax, but that's not bad. Honestly, I would get it too. I would get it too if McFarlane gives us a Superman Returns figure, which I don't think they will because time is running out. Right? I would absolutely get it as well, dude. Did you see Sinners? Because if you see Sinners, you don't even know how right you are. He would be a fantastic Blade. And this isn't part of my news, but apparently, like we're just getting more signs that the Mahershala Ali Blade film is dead. Not to say they won't be a Blade film coming out, but that version of it is dead. I think a musician who was supposed to do music for the movie was talking about like what he would have done in past tense. So I mean, yeah, man, a lot of their faces are changing big time, right? But Sinners was amazing. I highly recommend it. Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler were fantastic. The whole cast was fantastic. It was charming, it was funny, it was scary, and it made you think. I got to see it again. Check out my more detailed review with a friend of mine, my friend Rich. We're going to do a detailed review on Sinners, and that'll drop on Tuesday. Um, Next up in the news, man. So we got a trailer. We got that fantastic. Well, before we get to the trailers, I want to talk about this real quick. I didn't do the news last week, so some of this stuff isn't this week's news, but still, we got a picture of Lobo. We got a picture of Jason Momoa as Lobo, and this is, I mean, when you look at him, it's almost like, how would you ever? I'm not knocking Zack Snyder. I actually love Zack Snyder, and I love Jason as Aquaman. But you know he was born to play Lobo. It's almost like casting him in anything. If you're head of DC, to cast this man as anything but Lobo is a travesty. And can you imagine if James Gunn was like, I can't make you Lobo because you were just Aquaman. Like I can't reuse the old universe. We would have missed out on what you know is going to be. It's going to be such a perfect performance. We're going to be like, he didn't even do anything. He's just being himself. Guy was born to play Lobo. And look at him. He looks more like the Crow than the last Crow movie. Yo, I love it. I love it. Yes, etc. Put Sinners on your watch list and see it in IMAX, man. If you can, it was made for IMAX. They actually shot it for that. I think you'll enjoy it, or you'll hate it. Either way, let me know. Um, but this Jason Momoa, I mean, like it's freaking Lobo. Now my question is, and a friend of mine brought this up to me. My friend Rich actually brought up, like, what's up with the motorcycle he's on? because he's supposed to have his hog, right? So I don't know if he's stranded on Earth or there's another planet and they have similar motorcycles. His hog got destroyed. I don't know, but he looks amazing. This is him and the Supergirl movie that is filming right now. Absolutely love it. Uh, so it looks like Sydney Sweeney is jumping into Split Fiction, man. This game that literally just came out is getting a movie. Uh, which is great. I don't know too much about the game, but I know that you can like go into different worlds of fiction and the game is fairly new, but I think that's pretty great. I think it's that Mario effect. Well, actually that Sonic Mario Minecraft effect where they figured out the combination on how to make these video game movies work. And I believe they have the writers of Deadpool as well as the director of John Wick. So I mean, and Sydney's a beast of an actress, so it should be really good. Um, he makes a better Lobo than Aquaman. Same, like he did a great job as Aquaman. Like great job, especially when you think about that '90s Aquaman with the long hair and the one hand when he's a little rougher. But he was born to play Lobo. You know that's what it is. He's just born to play Lobo. In other game news, we have another game that's releasing fairly soon. Ghost of Yotai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really excited for this. This is right up my alley. It's not a sequel of Ghost of Tsushima. It's not a sequel to it. They didn't want to be kind of handcuffed to be in certain parameters narratively. So with a new character and a new story, they can just take on a whole different things as well as improve upon the gameplay. So it's like a spiritual sequel to it, but it's going to be its own thing. I love open world games. It's right up my freaking alley. Let's go. Um, and then let's get into these Fantastic Four trailer, man. So we got a Fantastic Four trailer, and I thought it was absolutely charming. I loved it. It felt like the 60s. It felt like I love how the MCU have made it so like shared universes are possible, right? I know I don't look it, but I'm 43 years old. So I grew up in a time where none of our superhero movies crossed over. You know, we started getting it in the cartoons in like the late 90s, with the exception of Super Friends, which was a little bit before my time. But to see these movies have shared universes are just freaking amazing. But we're so used to it now. And the generation under us, they're like, it's just normal. That's just what you do. Shared universe. That's what you do. And although this movie is in the MCU, it feels really cool that it feels like it's also a standalone thing. Like it's in a separate universe, in a separate time period. And there's no like crazy major cameos that they are tempting us with. It's just the Fantastic Four. And we know Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom, so maybe he'll be in it, maybe he won't. I don't know. But it's just nice to just see Fantastic Four without, Thor showing up or something. I love the feel of it. I love the look of the 60s. There's something real clean about it. It feels kind of campy, but also grounded. I love the look of all the characters. I mean, we'd skip more, a little bit of story. And do you think this is an homage to that Superman comic, his first appearance when he's holding up a green Volkswagen Beetle sort of car? I don't even think it's a Volkswagen Beetle because I don't know if it came out in the 30s, but similar car. I just really enjoyed it, man. The trailer looked great. I love the characters. I know people were coming under fire a little bit about the actor that played Johnny Storm. Have I played Adam Fall? Not yet. No, I haven't gamed much. Period. I think today I might throw in Red Dead Redemption because I've been playing that game for like 5 years. I still haven't finished it, although I'm at the end. What did I think of the Accountant 2 trailer? I'm in. I'm in. And to be honest with you, not just the trailer, but all the interviews that Ben Affleck and John Bernthal's doing is just really making me want to see this film. Although I was going to see it anyway because I enjoyed The Accountant, and and it looks like they're really focusing on the brotherhood between their two characters. So I'm in, man. I'm in. What did you think about it? But the actor that plays Human Torch was like, they're gonna get away from Johnny Storm's more misogynistic, devil may care attitude that was so popular, I guess, in the '60s and in the comics. And I know a lot of people got angry about that, but I don't really understand because the MCU is not Earth 616. It just isn't. I don't care what any of them say. It's just not, right? It's the same universe where Tony Stark has PTSD from fighting like aliens, and that puts him into a depression. We don't touch the demon in the bottle story. We don't, he's not an alcoholic in the MCU. We don't go there, right? Uh, Thanos doesn't want to snap the world away because of his love for Lady Death or whatever her name is. He does it because he wants balance. Like, we've already made big changes in the characters in this universe. So him changing up Johnny to fit with the times to make him more understandable, likable, and more universal, to me, it kind of just fits with all the changes that have been going on in the MCU, right? Peter Parker didn't become Spider-Man and like have to sew his costume together and be poor and broke and have no help. No, like his first year as Spider-Man, he met Tony Stark, who sort of funded his whole operation. MCU's different, so let the differences be different. Speaking of which, well, I want to talk about that in a second, but where is she? I want to talk about. Do I have a picture of her? I should. You know who I'm talking. You know who I want to talk about. I want to talk about Silver Surfer. Did I grab a pic? Do I not have a pic of her? Yeah, I do. Here we go. Jeez, Silver Surfer. Yeah, I know a lot of people were mad about her being a woman, but first, she has been a woman in the comics, right? And like I said, this, first of all, MCU's not Earth 616, and the Fantastic Four are not even from the normal MCU universe. So we're probably going to get the male Silver Surfer. We're probably going to get both of them at the same time. Male Silver Surfer might be in this film. So, like, kind of just chill out and let's see. But this isn't one of those situations where they're just swapping genders. There is a female Silver Surfer, for those of you who didn't know. No hate, but just letting you know. It was good, but John Bernthal acting is pretty much the same nowadays compared to what he did in the first two seasons of The Walking Dead. And I feel like he's starting to be typecast. That's the thing, man, right? You do something really, really good, and then they want to hire you to do that thing. So I think we're going to see him kind of be that thing until he starts coming out with more things that he's the lead in, right? Because The Accountant's still Ben Affleck's film. So once he starts getting vehicles, didn't he have one where he was kind of like this? I forget what it is. He was like, I don't know if he was like a gigolo, but he's like wearing suits and he was kind of smooth. I forgot the name of it. I guess it didn't last long. But yeah, until he becomes like the lead in the thing, I feel like you're going to get the thing that everybody wants him for, right? Although I will say, Daredevil Born Again, I kept rewinding the scenes of just his interactions with the Punisher, Daredevil and the Punisher, in that last episode where they're in Matt's apartment. I just love their banter and how they get on each other's nerves and they hate each other, but they love each other. But yeah, I think John Bernthal, I don't know if he's being typecast. He's just being hired to do the thing that he's really great at, which is this vulnerable brute. You know, what is going on with Marvel CGI for the last 10 years? Seems like it has been going downhill. CGI for the film of Silver Surfer looks terrible compared to what we've seen before. It's not finished, but you know what? There's been a lot of talk about that, right? I think we've heard from different studios and special effects houses that The timelines these studios are trying to come out with these films are making these special effects artists work around the clock so much that eventually you're going to see diminishing returns. You know, the quality is going to start to suffer. That has been a big thing. Like they're like, we're being overworked. They can't keep up with it. So hopefully, you know, I kind of, after the Flash, after the Flash, I kind of decided to suspend my disbelief. You know, like I'll accept the CGI. I'll accept it. Just give me a good story because it is what it is. you know. So I'm not too torn up about it, but I feel you. I feel you. Question about this is that's freaking Galactus's foot right there. But isn't Galactus? He's bigger than the Earth. So how is he walking on the Earth? I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four comic book reader, so let me know in the comment section or in this chat right now if you're watching. Can he shrink so he can like stand on Earth and be as tall as a building, but also be tall enough to stand outside the Earth? I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Um, but like I said, I think this looks so good. I mean, look at them. They look great. Let me get the picture bigger. They look great. This looks right out of like a 60s comic. I love the entire feel. But look what we can accomplish with AI, and a lot of it is being put out by average Joe Schmo. That's very true. But I will say about AI is you still have images or short videos. You know, the AI still hasn't accomplished like 2 hours of creating content. So it will. It definitely will. We're not too far. But yeah, I mean, it may get tighter by July, but I would say you should do what I do and just accept it and hope the story is strong enough to make you not think about it. Because that's what it really comes down to, right? If the story is strong enough, then we're not going to think about it too much. Um, Next, I want to talk about, it's a little late. I wasn't here last week, but I did a whole video on this, so you should check it out. Is this Superman preview? Man, we got a behind the scenes Superman preview that James Gunn gave us, and I absolutely loved it. I did a whole video. You should check it out, man. It's getting a lot of views. Thank you guys so much for the love, etc. Thank you for commenting on the video and watching it and throwing in your 2 cents. Uh, I'll get back to you right now. I don't think I responded to the last comment. I'll get back to you right now on it. But I love the preview because it just gives you a feel of the film, which is hope. It's hope. It's that Christopher Reeve. I won't even say Christopher Reeve. It's not Christopher Reeve. It's this guy. It's this guy. You know, non-comic book readers keep saying this is going to throw back to like the Christopher Reeve movie. No, it's going to throw back to where Christopher Reeve's film got their inspiration from, which is this guy, a hopeful, bright colored Boy Scout. I love it. I love it. That's what I'm trying to do with the Superman movie. I hope the plot outweighs the suit because the suit is half the movie. I'll say this. I said in my video, the video is titled Why James Gunn's Superman movie is going to be amazing. And I gave all the reasons why, based off of what they've given us so far, it should be amazing. I did give one caveat though. The liberties they took on the suit, I can understand why people are not happy. I feel you. It's really grown on me. I can justify the whole thing, but I understand if you don't like it. They took liberties here. This is where I'll challenge you, etc. I will say this. I don't think the suit's half the movie. To be honest with you, I think when it comes to a Superman suit, even when you look at Christopher Reeve's suit, it's a colorful, simple suit. It's not that special. It's the man in the suit. This is the one time in these movies where the man makes the suit. You know, you can throw in an actor who's amazing but doesn't fit the physical requirements of Batman, and you put him in a dope freaking suit, and you got Batman, Michael Keaton. Right? You can take a guy who you would never even think to cast as a superhero, Robert Downey Jr. Let's not get it twisted. Before he was cast as Tony Stark, no one believed in him. They cast him, it's amazing, but the suit does half the job. But when it comes to Superman, it's the man in the suit. Honestly, it's bright colored spandex. You know, I would say Henry Cavill's suit is the most iconic suit. You can put that suit on almost anybody who is tall and muscular, and they'll look like Superman. But Christopher Reeve's suit, Dean Kane's suit, nah, you can't put that suit on anybody. The man in the suit. But it does come across that they are putting in too much. And if we've learned anything from past superhero movies, they don't need to have all the other villains or heroes. I would agree, only if they're in there as cameos. But if they're actually characters and part of the story, like it's part of the world that he's in, then I don't think it's going to be too much. But yes, if it's like Batman v Superman, where we're just going to throw in Wonder Woman and we're going to throw in data files on all the Justice League, then yeah, that's too much. Throw in Doomsday, too much. But if it's a lot like Invincible, where we follow Mark Grayson, but his world just so happens to be made up of other superheroes, but the focus always stays on him, then I think it may not be too bad. Because there's one or two things you can do with a Superman movie, right? You can either make him the very first superhero, which most do because he is, or you can make him in a world of other heroes. And if that's the case, he would have interactions with them, just like you have interactions with people at work. So as long as they're real characters, much like the Daily Planet, right? Like if him bumping into Guy Gardner or Hawk Girl for Superman is no different than Clark bumping into Jimmy and Lois at the Daily Planet, then I think we're cooking with grease. But yes, if they're just shameless cameos, then it's not going to work. Absolutely not. And look at this, the Daily Planet. Like, I'm loving everything Gunn is giving us. This preview really showed us the heart of the movie. What could be the heart of the movie? We're not going to know until we see it. But I just like we're at a time, and I give MCU credit for this, where we can be unapologetic about the source material, right? Because before the MCU and even leading up to it, with the exception of like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, everything was trying to take away the comic book feel. X-Men, where they were in black leather. Batman always was in black. They would do everything they could to like take away the comic book aspects of it, and so much even in Batman v Superman, like you never saw a globe on the Daily Planet. It was a much more grounded, which is fine. But I love that we're getting back to it being comic booky again visually, with the globe on the Daily Planet. And I know some people hate this, especially if you know Cavill was your Superman and you were a kid in 2013. But yes, Superman does wear underwear on the outside. He just does. It's the strongman type, strongman wrestler kind of suit. It just is what it is. And the fact that we got these back on him, we're leaning back into the source material, which I love. The preview was great. We got to look at Hawk Girl. I know people hate her costume, just like Guy Gardner's, but there's a reason for it. I think there's a reason why there's a bunch of superheroes flying around in these kind of white, boring costumes. With they obviously work for the same person. They have the same logo, and then you have Superman in all the primary colors. I think there's a visual reason why, and also a story reason why. Loving Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor right here. They're looking to me like how I imagined Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum would have looked if Tom Welling put on the freaking suit in the finale. We got a great look at Metamorpho here, which is amazing. And this is practical, man. This is like prosthetics. So they're doing a lot of practical stuff. When he falls in the snow, it's like they're really in the snow. It's not CGI. They're not on a soundstage. They're out in the cold. So I'm loving everything about this. If you can't tell already, check out my video about why this movie is going to be great. Um, but that's all I got today. Let me check my notes and make sure I don't have more things. But I want to say that's about it. Shorter show. It's usually shorter by myself. I'm still building this thing out. People are still getting used to seeing this live. So I'm just happy to talk, and I'm really happy that you guys are here to listen, etc. So forth, so on and so forth. Let me answer your question real quick because you left a comment on my YouTube, and I have yet to get back to you. Sorry, it's been a busy couple days, but I'll get back to you right here if you're still watching. Let me see. Let me see where you at. Here you go. The last thing you said was interesting point. You're in a tandem suggesting that it's the first time we've actually seen Superman in pain, or we're talking about the pain, the pain he went through. Okay. Yes. I'm scratching my head though. James Gunn keeps saying this is Superman of Hope, yet all we have seen him is screaming in pain. That's the point, man. That's the point. Superman is supposed to be he has to he has to earn his wins. He doesn't just walk in like One Punch Man. You know this. He doesn't just walk in like One Punch Man. So he is in pain. When Crypto's stomping all over him, it's because he was risking his life in some sort of fight just beforehand that almost cost him his life. So Superman is not overpowered. He's the right amount of power for the people he goes up against. So yeah, we see him crash land to Earth bleeding because it cost this dude to be Superman. But just like freaking Rocky, Rocky's a hopeful movie, not because he wins the fights, because he takes the beating and he gets back up. He gets back up. We were talking about, and then I was looking at your comment right now. You're playing devil's advocate here. We're talking about the healing in regards to Superman. Oh, we're talking about him letting Jonathan Kent die in the tornado on Man of Steel. And you were suggesting that it's based on the harsh reality that his father didn't believe the world was ready for him. And honestly, do you think the world in current condition would accept or conform to if a person revealed to have abilities like him? And regarding BVS Batman, he was more based on how a real world vigilante would be handling individuals. And Superman knew that if he brought Batman into the authorities for the exact same thing that he's being accused of doing, it could be considered hypocritical because of the circumstances or circumstantial problematic situation that he was left in, as Batman could use it in defense for his own and the individuals that he was dealing with. In regards to that, I think that in BV and him letting his father die in the tornado, my biggest issue with that, and I think that's something we can even do a video together on. I'm still racking my brain on what we can talk about. My issue with him letting his father die in the tornado is I understand Jonathan Kent. I understand. I have a 6-year-old boy. I understand. I will die so he can live. I understand Jonathan Kent's fear and worry. I don't believe that the Superman that I know that was written in these comic books has it in him to let his father die. The comic book Superman, the Clark that we grew up with, would have disobeyed his father and not cared if people found out his identity. Because at the end of the day, this Superman and the one that I believe James Gunn is making is so much about hope that he can't willingly let someone die. It's against his nature. It's against his nature. The same way it's against the Joker's nature to save the day and save a bunch of people, it is against his nature. Because think about his powers. He has super hearing. He would have heard his father's bones crack. He would have heard his heart slowly stop. He would have heard him gasp for air as he's colliding against debris. And Clark is supposed to take that trauma and be the world's greatest hero? Nah, dude. Nah. Can you imagine him sitting with Batman and Batman going on about how he lost his parents and then Batman learns, but you let yours die? It doesn't work. That's the one part about Man of Steel that I won't come off of. That just doesn't work. I like it for Man of Steel for a standalone Superman movie or franchise, but that's not the kind of character I think you can build a universe out of, that you can Tony Stark it. No, 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 no. And as far as Batman being a vigilante and killing people and Superman seeing him kill people and doing nothing about it, Superman don't care about being a hypocrite. He don't care about the politics of it. He's witnessed Batman mow people down with his Batmobile and gave him a warning. Stop, or I'll stop you. No, Superman, this guy would have brought that maniac into the authorities because Superman and Batman v Superman did not look at Batman as if he's a hero. He looked at him like he's a psychopathic, the Punisher, kind of like a Lockup from Batman the Animated Series character. And this Superman from the comics would have brought that Batman in. He's a murdering psychopath. So it made Superman turn the other eye for no real reason. Anyway, that's not why we're here, but etc. Let's talk about Man of Steel. Maybe I'm still trying to figure out what it can be. But anyway, that's what I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching the live as well as tuning in to after it's live. Again, I am here 4 p.m., 7 p.m. every Sunday, going live 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, enjoy, man. You're supposed to enjoy this stuff, decompress with this stuff. I'm about to go play some video games or watch some anime. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, etc. Thanks for the conversation. Peace.